Hola. Oh, wait, let me turn my volume down. Hey, everybody.
Hey,
Happy
hey,
Thursday. Um,
hey.
so I want to start immediately because I know we're going to be limited with the time, but I want to make sure I get through um this last bit. Well, it's not last, it's like one of the most important parts is the money. So I'm gonna actually share my screen so we can kind of talk through some of this stuff. Um, every time I get ready to do this, I never do it right. Okay, share. Mm, okay, bam. Okay, cool. All right. So, I want to just kind of like jump right in, and this is more so just so everybody kind of knows. And actually, I think it has changed, but this is more so for you all to know everything. Like we just kind of talk through it, and of course, you have questions we can ask it, but this is more so just for information when it comes to the part that is the business, which is us, making money. And I think most of you all know kind of like, and you have an idea now as far as like rates. And before, for whatever reason, I don't know, when I danced, it was very much kept like gatekeeping because I don't know why people felt like they couldn't share what dancers make or what you should be getting. I don't know what the whole concept of like not being able to talk about money was for me as a dancer. It seemed very like, oh, but I'm like, but if everybody's doing this and everybody's trying to dance and make it a career or even like just make money, you need to know the numbers. Like you just need to know what the rates are. That way, moving forward, you can always make an objective decision on whether or not you want to do a job. So it's like it's different when you don't know and you're getting taken advantage of. So like my situation I talk about when we did Drumline, and my story was we didn't know nothing. We didn't know nothing about no rates. I ain't know nothing about no swag. I didn't know anything about principal performer, just no clue. They was like, hey, we're gonna pay you guys for a feature background. And I'm just like, okay, yay, great. I don't know. Listen, the movie, we're filming for like 4 months and I'm like dancing and I get to choreograph and they throw me in different scenes and I'm talking. I have no clue that I should be getting paid more for this and that and the other. So in that situation, it was more of like just ignorance, just because just didn't know. And that's not always good. So luckily there was somebody that did know and they were like, yeah, we should be getting paid more. So now it's more about education and not just feeling like, oh my God, I'm so excited to do this movie and I'll just take anything. It's like, no, I'm so excited to do the movie, or I'm so excited to do this show, or I'm so excited to do this tour, I'm so excited to do this music video, I'm so excited to do this commercial, whatever the job is, and I know what the money should be. It's not I have no idea what I should be making to do this music video. I have no idea what I should be making, to do this TV show. Like, no, I absolutely know what I should be making. That way I can make a very smart decision on how I want to proceed. So it's not a case of, oh, I feel like I'm getting, I got took advantage of. It's like, no, you didn't. You know what the rates are. So if you decided to do the job, knowing what the rates are, you decided to do the job anyway because what? Oh, I want to build a relationship with that choreographer, or I really am dying to dance with that girl that's working on that job. Oh my God, I love the opportunity to work with this director. Like, oh my God, I've been dying to go on my first tour. and I know what I should be making, but this is what the rates are. So that is completely different. I just think, we get so caught up on numbers, which is important. It's different when you don't know. If you know and you're still like, it's never going to go away. Even as a choreographer, creative director, rates vary and change, budgets change. I told you in the beginning, artists really don't have no money. So, you just have to make those kind of decisions. What's best for you? That's it. It's like nobody else matters. That's your mom and your daddy's cousin, sister, brother, husband, wife, even like agent, best friend. It doesn't matter. They don't matter. You decide how you want to move. Now, if you are not knowing numbers, that's one thing. But if you know the numbers and you're like, okay, well, I know what I should get and I still want to do, okay, cool. So, all right, so let's just go ahead and go through. So, Dancers Alliance, this is great because the last like few sessions I've had with coaching for the program, the rates had not been updated since 2023. But it was very, 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 very cool because when I started this program, it was in 2022, and right in the middle of me like coaching and doing it, all of the dancers some of the dancers that were in the program were hired. I told you to do skeleton crew. During the summertime, the rates went up. So literally, as we are talking about rates, the rates they raised them like, I don't know, maybe because it was a negotiation. So maybe let's just say if it was like 1,023 or something like that, it went up to like 1,083 or something like that, right? So it went up in the middle of them actually working. So they benefited from like, oh my God, I see the difference. So the rates went up in 2023 and then they went up again every year, like the next year, 2024. And so here we are, 2025. So y'all are great because it's the top of the year still and the rates have gone up. And so now you can see what the real numbers are like. I actually have to go into the online course and update it because the rates are not what is in the actual modules, which is cool. So I like doing those kind of videos. Like new money, I'm gonna actually do another. I'll probably do a whole new video and like post it because a lot of people don't know. A lot of dancers have no clue. So rehearsals are 465. This, I'm telling y'all, I'm seeing it in real time. I'm getting like, some of the dancers that are working now, they're actually like management and production have to come back and change it because the rates have gone up. It's like, oh yeah, no, it was 450. When I danced, the rates were 250. 250 for 8 hours. Okay, I need you to process that. 250, sweating it up. 8 hours. 175 for 4 hours. So now here we are, 465. That is like amazing. That is like, yes, I can actually see myself making a living. Let's just say I booked a live show and we got 2 weeks of rehearsal. Like, oh my God, we're doing 465 a day for rehearsals. Let's say we got 5 days of rehearsals per week. Y'all can do the math. 5 days, 5 days, that's 10 days. 10 right there, we already at 4650. That's just on rehearsals. And then here we are, show 955. And so this is like in your mind, you can just try to like understand like if I can get booked on a job with an artist that has a budget, and they are following Dancers Alliance. Now here I have an opportunity to really like make some money. So, and the other part of this is always if you know what the numbers are, you can always decide how you want it to be. It's like, hey, all right, the rehearsal rate for Dancers Alliance is 465. How close can I get to that and still do this job and still make money? Still, it's decent. Oh, there are some jobs like, oh, all we got is 350 for rehearsals. Okay, 350 for rehearsals is still not bad. It's just like you just have to, based on who this artist is, okay? Yeah, like Cardi. Cardi's not paying 350. She's paying 465. Why? Because she signed to a major label. She got budget. She got it. They got it. They got it. You know what I'm saying? New artist that just barely got the budget open, just signed, they don't have it. And if they have it, they're gonna try to skirt around on how they can save because he's a new artist. He ain't made no money yet. He ain't did no shows. He ain't been on nobody's tour. Everything is out of pocket. So like expenses are higher than income coming in for this new artist. But they want dancers. Okay, well, they understand they still have to pay. They still have to like, we got to figure out the budget. So if you know that, all you have to do is decide, okay, like, well, I'm a new dancer. I really need to like get on this show though. I understand what the rates are. I understand it's 465 per rehearsal. I know this. I know this. It's not like I don't know. I know it now, right? But all they got is 350. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm doing the show. I'm doing the show. I'm not gonna not do this job because they ain't got 465. It's just like, no, I really need to do the show though. I need to make some money. I need to build my resume. I need to get this content, this footage, whatever this is, if it's a show, music video, whatever. Like I'm gonna need it. So I need to do it. And if I can always approach my work in that manner, approach it in the creative space first versus the money first. Everybody's always money, 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 when that's not why you're doing this. Like, please, reminder, we are not doing this to get rich. Like this isn't I don't love dance because I want to get rich. It's like no, I love dance because it is my craft, it is my love, it is my passion, and I want to share my gift with the world. I want to travel, I want to connect with people, I want to like, grow as a dancer, performer, yada yada yada. So the that part is going to lead me to the money. It's not going to be I'm chasing the money and I just happen to be a dancer. So that's not gonna work because then forget it. Like this ain't the industry for that. Go in another field because I'm telling you, it just doesn't end. People do it for the wrong reasons, and that just is like pointless. So always lead with the passion and purpose first because the money will come after. So when you do go after the artist that maybe doesn't have budget, okay, I use this example since I've been doing it. I've been using an example of Lotto. When Lotto first started, she's a new artist. Nobody, really didn't know her yet. She had been on the rap game. I think it was a reality show. And so I'm pretty sure in the beginning she didn't have a huge budget, but she knew she was a performing artist. She's gonna have to have dancers. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get these looks in, I gotta whatever. Now, let's just say Lotto, I don't know this for I'm just using an example. Let's just say Lotto, for instance, when she first came out, couldn't afford Dance Alliance rates because, like, hey, I'm new, I ain't made no money yet. I'm in the studio, I'm trying to get my shit together, and you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna be popping, but I ain't there yet. I'm not there yet. But I still need you. I need some fire behind me and beside me on my tour, on my shows, on my music videos. And maybe she didn't have 450, 465, but maybe she had 300. Maybe she had whatever, right? You're not gonna turn that down because she don't have Dance Alliance and she's new. So it's like, oh. Now the people that did go with Lotto in the beginning are still around. Like, oh my gosh, they maybe have done in the beginning, they did that, this, that, and the other, but then after that, they ended up going on tour for like 2 years. Ended up doing all the award shows, all of them, all the festivals, all the Coachellas, and so you're gonna make the money back. You're gonna make whatever that little money that you thought you was missing, it's gonna come. It's gonna come back around. You're gonna get it. Because there is a sense of sometimes loyalties. There is a sense of like, dang, you stuck in when it wasn't great in the beginning, but I appreciate you. So I'm gonna make sure you get your rate. I'm gonna put in some equity into this situation so that when it is time for the renewal, meaning come back around for the next tour, next gig, then my rate gonna go up. Why? Because I came in when they was in the beginning and they maybe didn't have it. So I always consider that. That was like my dance career, artists that I started with in the beginning, and stuck with them and and did tours and took me all around the world and and I'm like, yeah, I get it. It doesn't have to be always about money, especially if you knew. Now you will get to a certain point where you're like, yeah, I've done everything, and hey, the only way you're gonna get me to come back out is if my rate goes up. Then yes, I'm getting an increase. The rate is going up because why I have brought value to this project, to this job, this tour, this artist, this show, and they value me enough to increase my rate. So know that there's always ways to, get whatever you feel like you're missing out. But if you know the numbers, it just helps make some of your decision making easier. So like all of these numbers is basically dealing with artists only. This is not TV, this ain't film, none of that. This is artists. So 465 for a rehearsal, 955 for a show. That is technically the standard now, which it was 550 when I danced. Okay, not too long ago. Shit, still some shows that's all they got, because you are also dealing with a time lapse of education with the industry. So where we have these numbers, management, labels, artists, they don't know these numbers. They don't understand what are you talking about, dance alliance. Like, what is that? That is the standard for dancers, like rates that we should be getting paid. So, we have to educate that department because in their mind, they're only budgeting. If you've been operating in the last 30 years, a certain number, it's like, wait, when did this change? It's like everything else is inflation is going up. So when did that change? But it should have been changed. It's just, again, dancers is like, bottom of the totem pole. But we have finally worked our way up, and this is considered standard for what we do. I mean, we should get compensated for that. So every job is different. Granted, this is standard rates across the board. So I don't care if you're doing a 15-minute show versus a 2-hour show, with the artist. It's like it's technically this is what they should be paying. Now, I'm always open to negotiating when it comes to artists and the shows and the rates and like, hey, okay, so how long is the show? What am I doing in this video? Am I going to be on set for 12 hours or can we make it to like 3 hours? Then I can work around what the budget is. Oh, we only got $400 for this video shoot. Okay, well, you can't have me there for 12 hours. You can't have me there for 12 hours for a music video. Technically, music video is like, it's like a show. It's similar to mentally just think of a music video like a show. Don't try to separate them and make them different. Show, shoot, same thing. Whether I'm going out to go and perform on a stage at a I don't want to say concert at a birthday bash, I'm Hot 97, whatever these radio shows and a music video, it's the same rate. Even though music video, yeah, you might be on set for 12 hours, but see for that show, you might have had sound check, you had to go to, and then you gotta leave early because of traffic and you're gonna be waiting around. So, it kind of, evens out a little bit. But the idea is you're getting paid for your time regardless. And so if you have a show, this is what the rate should be. Again, long as you know what the numbers are. Now, if they come back and say, we only have $350. Your first thought is always going to be, well, I mean, that's a little low. That's low. That's very low. So but you have to decide, okay, well, but do I really want to do the show? Or is this artist worth me doing this rate for? Or, I mean, is this going to help build my resume? Do I need this show? These are all your own personal questions. Everybody's answers will vary. If I've been doing a million shows and somebody asked me to do a $300 show, I'm like, no, it's enough for me. I've already made this amount of money doing shows. My rate is this. So if you want me to do this show, this is what the rate is. The rate is already this number, but you know what I'm saying? I could do it for this rate. And if they can't do that, then that's okay, you got to pass. If I was a brand new dancer and I will do it for free. In my mind, I will do it for free. It's not even about the money. I just want to perform. You know, there's different levels. I just want to dance. I want to get in front of these people. I want to be on stage. I just want to shine. I'm just like dying to get on this stage. So yeah, I'm gonna do it for 350. And it is nobody's business. It's my choice. I decided to do it based on where I am right now in my career, in my journey, in my relationship building. You know, I'm trying to whatever your thing is. And this is something that I'm never gonna tell a dancer to not do something depending on who it is and what it's for. I'm never gonna tell them to not do it based on the money. I'm always gonna say, all right, let's weigh out everything. Let's talk about it. Is this making sense or no? Some people I would be like, this don't make sense for you. No, you don't need to do it. Some people I would be like, absolutely, you need to do the show. Like, I don't, there's no question about it. You need it. Everybody will be different. And so you have to give yourself the permission to decide for yourself if this is what you want to do. It's like it baffles me when I see certain people say you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. And it's like your favorite dancer did it for free, did a free show, did a free video, did a free, like, and was like, and like, it was my decision. And as I move forward and do more shows, move whatever, then they'll get to a point where, yeah, you couldn't pay me to like do that again. I was like, no, I'm never gonna do a show for this rate or this little money or whatever. But at a time, there was a time in my career where I absolutely did it for that rate. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I just want you to know what the numbers are. The numbers are great. 955 for the show. If you are traveling, they normally like, well, you should get travel pay. And that travel, I think, is it on here? Yeah, 230. So travel rates are 230. That's like, let's say for instance, you travel, your show is in Colorado and they fly you from Atlanta and the show is the next day, you should be getting a travel rate. And again, everybody doesn't do this, but it's like you just need to know. I can't say every job you do that's out of town and it's a show they're gonna pay travel. No, they're not. Because they don't have it. It's just like they don't have it. They don't have it to pay. And even if they do have it, they don't want to pay. So, you know, you're dealing with people that are in control of budgets and money and they trying to cut corners. They trying to save. You know, I always make just remember it's not just you. You know, if you got a whole group of folks, dancers and band and wardrobe folks, hair, makeup folks, and entourage, and you know, tour managers and the MDs and the background vocal, like it'd be a lot of people, and so everybody costs, you know, hotels and per diem and transportation and flights, and it's a lot. It's a lot. So, you know, it's now in the same breath, they have requested these services. So yes, they still have to pay. You know, it's like, hey, this is what it is. You want dancers, this is how much we cost. You want choreography, this is how much it costs. You want to look fly, look good, look amazing, like $1 million. That's how much the hair, makeup, wardrobe folks cost. You know, so everybody has a cost. Everybody, we are in the business of services, but at the end of the day, yes, we love it, but you do have to get paid. You know, otherwise it's like, what's the point? So if I was going on tour, now the tour rates have gone up 27, 30. That's amazing. It's amazing. That's like awesome. So imagine booking a tour and you're gone for 2 months. Gone for 2 months. Somebody do the math. 27, 30, 2 months. That does not, and then after that, add per diem, $90 a day. What is that number? I just need to go and have that typed up anyway, just so people can wrap their head around it. Anybody want to share the number?
Uh, $27,000 and 27,240. Oh my God. $27,240. Sorry, it took me a second.
Yeah. So in 8 weeks, 2 months, you may give or take, obviously, if it's the gross or the net definitely gonna be not that. But it doesn't matter. Like in your mind, worst case, you can do like the taxes in your mind. But ideally, you can see how you can make money with the tour situation because you're gone and it's on a weekly. So you're always getting a consistent check. That's why I say it's important for tour to be at the top of the list as a dancer, mainly because of that, because you're able to consistently make money week to week to week. And then you're gone. So, if you smart and you like savvy, you can really save your money because like you really don't need to be spending that because you're gonna get, what I'm saying? You use your per diem to whatever, spend the money, spend on like petty cash and items and toiletries and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if you can save and squirrel away 2,700 a week for 8 weeks, you go back home and you figure out how to get on another tour. So like you become just tour hopper. That's the idea, is that's why I keep stressing about the dance. Not only is touring one of the best ways as a dancer financially, of course, outside of TV and film, but financially it's great because it's consistent week to week. And also the performing aspect of it is like you just become a better performer because you performing every day, every other day. It's longer sets, what I'm saying? So you become a better dancer. But yes, the weekly. It's like this is a no-brainer all the time. Try to get on tour. Try to get on tour. Fine. And the artists, I don't care if they knew, like, oh my gosh, like the ratings, whatever. I'm like, get on there. Why? Because the artist is going to get on another tour. You think the artist is going to stop after the first tour? No. How Neo's been touring for 20 years. So he like, you know what I'm saying? Like I get it. He like, shit. It's good. It's good. I'm never not touring. I'm never not gonna be on the road. Usher, stay gone. About to go right back overseas. Gone. Gone. Mary J. Blige, she just added more shows. Why? They understand touring. So if I'm a dancer, I'm trying to get on tour. That's it. Because outside of me just wanting to be on tour, yes, financially it's going to set me up so that I can be in position to do the things that I want to do, but also just make some smarter decisions with my money. And I mean, it's like we talked about the pros and the cons, obviously, with tours, but when you just remove all the cons, the pros is that you get a weekly rate, and if it's right, $2,700, yeah, yeah, I'm out. I'm out. I would be gone. Like that's amazing. I mean, the most money I've made on tour, it was, but as a dancer, it was definitely like maybe 2250. So I mean, that's like really great to say, yeah, I dance for a living. Because I think I definitely bought my dream car from being on tour. I got a townhouse. Like you can really get some of your dream goals accomplished because it's such a short amount of time and you're able to save a lot of money in that bit. And it's not the cool thing, the tour is not going to last forever. So it's not like you're going to be gone forever. but you want to be able to just be really smart. I think that's my biggest, if I had advice to give to dancers when it comes to the tours, is like, yeah, I need you to tour hop. I need you to go from tour to tour. Don't get so caught up on the artist part where you're like, oh my God, the artist, like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It is what it's a job. So don't get so attached. Like if you notice some of your favorite artists, I mean some of your favorite dancers, they be on everybody's tour. I'm gonna be on your tour for this period, and I'm hopping over here. And then I don't care about none of it ain't personal. This is business. It's business. I gotta make my money. I don't know how long this is gonna last. I don't know how long I can be able to really dance either. So let me figure that out. So if I know like, oh, the rates are that, okay, cool. Let me, and then you get into your entrepreneurship side and it's not so like, oh, dancer life is very much I'm handling my business. My business is dance. I'm a performer. I'm a performing artist. And you know what I'm saying, you gotta take care of your body. We talked about all of that. So it's not easy. It ain't gonna be like a walk in the park and you just a breeze. No, it's gonna be taxing on the body. You understand that. But if you're making the money, it makes sense. It's like I can afford to go get a massage. I can afford to make sure that I'm taking care of myself and I can really save my money. So 2730 is a new rate that just went up. I think 2650 is the most recent one. And people are making more than this, y'all. People are making over $3,000, $3,200 on tour. And if you are smart and you really perfect your skill, not even just dance, but like whatever skill set that you can offer, you can get booked for your skill set and still make that money, that type of money. Sometimes even more because you have added skill to it. So, please just really look into this space. And it's something that I think again, you as a dancer, you want to just give yourself that experience, period. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's like, I don't care if it's a month. I mean, really people don't be doing a month tour, but like 2 months. 2 months is normally like the average 2 to 3 months. And then they do different legs. So then they go overseas or they like, they jump onto another person's tour and it's like them artists, they understand. That's how they make their money. So they hitting them tours. So $90 per diem, 120 international. And that can vary too. I think some camps, I think 50 has been some of the per diem, 60. So it depends. As far as like shows, so now it's net 14. So like if you do a job, normally they do net 14. It used to be, it still is somewhere, sometimes net 30, but net 14 is now, you can really, really, push that, making sure that you get paid in a decent time. Hazard rates, I know I talked about this a little bit before, but if you about to do something that a show or video and hazard would be considered like water and you know fire and anything pyro, anything that's hazardous to you that can cause harm, that is considered hazard. Um, Physical therapy. Now that this is new. Um, that's good if they do this. I don't know if this is really true. As far as that's new, they just added this in here. This might be something that is, I feel like the tours that are like super strenuous and it's like a Missy Elliott tour, you know what I'm saying? Or you're going to be this hard. They probably do have this, but everybody not going to have physical therapy. I can tell you that. Transportation performance will receive business class, economy plus, comfort plus, or economy. It's like, this too, I don't know. These are all some wish list things where yes, this would be great if we get this, but just the reality is that sometimes they can't. Now, flight 6 hours or more, that means you're going overseas. There's no 6 hour flight in the country that takes that long. So if you're going overseas, normally, yeah, they do provide that. Fittings, anything that you do outside of the shoot day, or rehearsal day, they have to pay for that. So normally you'll get information on that regarding your fittings. If you do wear your own clothes, they should pay for that. And especially if it's like a music video, this is all music video. I mean, this is all artist stuff like shows. Like let's say you do a show and they want everybody that's performing to wear their own black boots or whatever, or yeah, everybody wear their own black pants, whatever. They should pay for that. So if somebody is booking you for like a music video or a live show, just know if you're providing your own clothes, there should be a itemized line item of payment that they have to pay on top of what the rate is for the show. So like hair, if they ask you to change something, or like let's say you got your like this is happening, like just got your hair braided, and the creative for the video is everybody got to wear whatever a bob, I don't know. So they would have to pay to have you take your hair out and then put it back in based on what this creative is. Especially if it's something like a tour where you gotta, like they say, change your hair, cut, dye, all that. They paying for all that. And then if you have to do any upkeep, that's on them as well. And then if you have to go back to your style, they reimburse you. Makeup performers shall be provided with a monthly stipend of $250 to cover any makeup product. So if you're going on tour and they are requiring you guys to do your own makeup, then they have to pay for that. Sometimes on tour, they have makeup artists in the cities and you get your makeup done. But in the case where you have to do your own and it's for work, they pay for that. So the nails, this is questionable too, but don't be like, y'all gotta pay for my nails. It ain't that deep. So I would say just ask what the look is for the hands and for the if it's a certain job that needs your nails done and they take you. Yes, people have gotten their nails done, they've taken in and paid for it. But in other cases, when it's like, okay, we just need to make sure everybody's their hand nails are done, whatever, not specifically to whatever the creative is, just be mindful of that. Should call occur in less than 12 hours from the previous wrap time, performance shall receive double time. Okay, so basically this is similar to TV and film. So like you're supposed to have a 12-hour turnaround time. And if you don't, it's I think it's like I don't know if it's time and a half. They're saying double time. So that's questionable. I'm gonna see what it says on the theatrical. Now this I'm not going to go through because this is not my lane as far as self-tapes. I don't really self-tapes to me have become very since COVID, it's just been like most of the time is with TV and film. Rarely have we done self-tapes with like dance, like auditions and stuff like that. Now they talking about can't exceed 40 counts. I don't know. I don't really want to give y'all too much insight on this. You can read this if you want, but I think they've just put this in here just to have for dancers that are doing self tapes. But on the TV and film side, it's just become so a lot. Like people be wanting self tapes like tomorrow and be like, oh, y'all asking for a lot. And then so since streaming and all of that, okay, basically with artists, we've been in the fight with the whole like, usage and stuff like that from the beginning of time, feels like. So I don't know where they are, but I will say when it comes to artists, like let's say for instance, they're doing a live, taping of like their concert or their show, you normally get a buyout. They're not about to pay no residuals. You'll get your rate and then you get a buyout because more than likely they've already signed a deal with Netflix or, like Beyonce's a great example when she did her Netflix special. Nobody's getting residuals from that show. It's like y'all gonna get this buyout and then that's it. We're not coming back around talking about, oh my God. Now imagine if all them people, and I'm not even talking about just the Christmas one. I'm talking about the Beychella, Netflix. Remember how it came out on Netflix? Everybody's not getting residuals from that. And that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure the numbers was crazy. So imagine if that was like you were getting a residual check. So it's never happening. Anything dealing with the artist ain't happening. They buying out. I did when I danced with Christina, we did a DVD, not DVD. She did a taping live, whatever, but it was for a DVD. So in today's time, it's for they do the Netflix, the Hulu's, whatever. Buyout. Okay. We don't get residuals for anything dealing with artists. You know, as exciting as that sounds, you're like, oh my God, we're doing a special. They're not gonna give you no residuals. You will get a buyout. Those range between, I would say, it depends on who it is, but you know, I know I've as crazy as that is, like 500, which is terrible, but like $500, and maybe 1,000, but it's not gonna be a whole lot of money. So, you know, just kind of be prepared for that. But you just want to also be aware of when you get booked on these jobs, you know, of what you're signing, because you can end up signing your whole likeness away and didn't even realize it. You know, they got cameras all up in their rehearsals. Everything now is streaming. Everything now is all about monetization. All these artists are trying to make money on top of their music. So, ooh, I'm gonna make this documentary and I'm gonna sell it to, you know, YouTube or whoever, Hulu. So you just have to just be aware of that. If you ever get in a situation where you get booked on with an artist and y'all in rehearsals and you see the cameras in there, just make sure you're like, hey, is there some type of compensation for this? Outside of my rate, outside of your rate, they can't just film without your permission. You know, can't just have me all up in the nah. So there has to be something in place, and they're gonna make sure they're gonna try to sign how you sign something, and make sure you read that. Hey, I need a day to look over this. I'm not about to just sign this, you know, because you don't know what that is. You don't know where it's gonna end up, and if you should be getting paid for it, you need to make sure you know what the numbers are. It's like, yeah, I gotta pay for that. I don't care if you knew. Something gotta pay, gotta pay. Anything with cameras, behind the scenes, all that. Hey, yeah, I see all these cameras. What's in there? Paperwork we need to be looking at. I need to see it. All right, so that's pretty much artist, space, land, money. As you can see, it's decent. You know what I'm saying? It's not terrible. It was terrible before, but it's not. It's not as bad. It's not bad at all, especially if you smart and you know how to work it. You can definitely make a lot of money and make it make sense for you for your time. I'm not gonna go through all this, but basically this is basic. This is just working conditions. It just kind of tells you what the conditions should be like when you are working on some of these jobs. So you can go definitely take some time and go through that. And this is obviously dances. I know I have it in the modules, but I'm going to actually update it because a lot of these things have changed since I did the one that's the most recent one that's in there. But this is dancersalliance.org, so you can always come here. Okay, so this rate music video. I don't know why I think Union. Okay. So when you're doing, let's say, depends. So they have it where they do it based on the budget of the video. So sometimes if it's, you gotta like, you'll know, I'll just say that. You kind of know what type of video you're doing. Like a Missy Elliott video, you just know it's like the budget's like a million. You know what I'm saying? Like we just already know it's going to be more. And depending on who it is and how much the budget is, you'll know what those rates are. And don't, this is actually old too. This is 2022. So all these numbers are actually lower. Which is weird. I don't know why they didn't update this one. Let me see. Yeah, see, all of these are still lower. I mean, 2023 Union Network. Okay, so basically, this is similar to after, like for instance, I would say, or episodic, no, not episodic, after like a war show. The rates vary depending on what type of show it is, but I know these have gone up. Let me see if I can find. I should have brought an actual contract. Yeah, these are actually it's a little bit more now. I'm gonna go find who just did a TV show. I gotta find that contract. But I mean this still ain't bad either. And this is I think this is going up. I want to say it's like 1,093 for whatever reason. I don't know why that number's in my head. But if you get booked on a TV show and as a solo or duo, meaning like you just it's only you the only person that got booked or somebody that's with you, then they break it down based on those rates. So let's say you booked it and it's like five of y'all that all booked the same show, then the rate just goes up to I mean goes down a little bit per how many groups. Now, the cool thing now is that this number is the same as the shoot day, which was like, why would we make less in rehearsal than we did on the shoot, which, across the board, it should be the same. But so they fixed that. So the rates are the same for rehearsals and for shoot. And I want to say it's 1,093 for whatever reason, but I'll double check and make sure. And if you do like if you're working more than one day, like three to 4 days, I think they just put you on weekly. And so again, here we are. So like this is better than the tour as far as if I get on a weekly. Now it all kind of like works out in the same as far as like the time. I think tour, yes, you're gone. So whatever you the hours vary. You know what I'm saying? You traveling, hotel, flight, bus, whatever. So, but TV and film, yes, you might be on set. You're not gonna be there. You're not gonna be doing whatever for 12 hours. So you might be a trailer half of the day. You know what I'm saying? You hanging around on set, whatever. So it varies. The reason why it's a little more is because it's just SAG and you know what I'm saying that's great. That's like it's a union, so you're protected. It is what it is. They can't change your rate. It ain't no negotiating or we only got this amount. If they only got this amount, they only budgeting for a certain number of people. So it would never be like, oh, can you do it for this amount of money? It's like that they can't do that, which is good for us. But as you can see, the benefit is way better for TV and film financially because of the residual. So, it's like, hey, oh my God, I made $3,481 for this week. I worked on this TV show. What's the show that's out now? Abbott Elementary. And yay, I worked on it for a week and boom. And then I'm gonna get residuals from this one because why? It's on Hulu, they streaming, woo doo. So in your mind, you can be like, okay, if I can't do this tour situation, I need to figure out how to get on TV. It's always like these are the things that I am consciously thinking about because I understand the money part. I understand, yeah, and it's a dream to be on TV. The show is my favorite. This director is amazing. These actors, yes, yes, yes. And I'm going into my acting, but I get to dance on TV. Yes, yes, yes. But also, the rate and the residuals will come. So even for me, anytime somebody asks me, hey, you want to do this episode? Yes. I don't even know what I'm doing. Yes. Because I get the part about I'm going to see this again. I'm going to do this time, these 12 hours, but I'm going to get a residual. I will get a return back. So it's always going to make sense for me. I get sick to my stomach thinking about some of the shows and the movies that I did not do that I should have gotten on camera for. I should have just got a contract, just signed for one day just to work, just so that I can make that in residuals on the back end. So if I know it's 3,000 for me to do 3 days as a principal performer, whether I'm acting, dancing, whatever, that's going to be one of my goals. You got to literally write that out. It's not I hope one day. I don't care what show you do. I don't I don't I don't care about, you know, who it is, which get on there, get a contract, get on there a few days, That'll be amazing. Become recurring somehow. Now I'm on the show again. Now they call me back. Yes. Get on contract so that you can get residuals later. That's it. And yes, the goal is to get principal. If you got to work your way up to being a principal, meaning I had to do a background role or extra whatever, and then I'm working my way up, then start there. But if I know what I can make being the number is more than this now because this is 2023. So, it's more than that now. And they filming everywhere. So you don't have to just be in LA anymore or Atlanta anymore. Like they film everywhere, especially now. They are hitting it. They leaving California. If you up north, I definitely filming. Mid across the country, like they're filming everywhere because financially it makes more sense to film somewhere else than where they were. And if the storyline is, like I know Tennessee is really big, Louisiana, Texas, New Jersey. I don't know about Florida, but Midwest, Chicago, a lot of filming up there. And if you got to get to these places too, it's worth it. It's worth it. So that's the union TV agreement. This is theatrical, and it's kind of the same, really, pretty much as TV as far as the contract is concerned. Yeah, these numbers are definitely more now, which is awesome. So, yeah, ideally solo or duo is perfect, but hey, even group 9 is great. And weeklies, I ain't mad at it. 2902 and it's 9 plus of us. Not bad. Not bad for a few days out of the week. And it ain't every day. So they don't film on Saturdays and Sundays. If they film it on the weekends, you're making more because the rate goes up for Saturdays and Sundays. They don't normally do weekends. So typically you won't work more than 5 days for the week. And again, you're not gonna be dancing for 12 hours. So just be productive, bring stuff to set, just utilize the time wisely. If you know you're going to be there only for 5 days, you start thinking about, okay, for next week, you can just really be proactive. That's Candace too, if y'all don't know Candace. On camera for union commercials, this definitely has gone up. Yeah, I gotta get the new. It's so weird that they wouldn't have updated this by now because I feel like the other one is, but even still, you know what I'm saying? Like this is not bad. Now, union commercials contract, the only thing with the commercials, I know it depends, like union commercials, yes, you get residuals, non-union, you don't get residuals. Sometimes you might get a buyout with non-union. It just all depends. And then I've been noticing they've been doing a lot of like campaigns, social media campaigns, commercials. So I'm not really familiar with how that works and the difference, but it lets you know that social media is still another saying it's connected. Like whatever they're making in the commercial space, it's gonna be close with social media because it's just interconnected. And they will say like it's a social campaign, so a social ad or whatever. So people are, they still get making money on the social media side. Union influencer waiver, I don't know what, honestly, this is old too. I don't know. I'm not familiar with this, so I don't want to necessarily say, but I'm assuming they basically had to start to kind of put something in place for like influencers, with dance, because y'all can't be like, oh, it's not a real network. Like Netflix used to say, oh, we're not really making money because it's streaming, and be like, nah, y'all are making money because they would try to say why certain maybe the residuals weren't high or something or whatever. It's like, oh, because it's streaming. It's like, no. So they've been having to put stuff in place that will protect. Now with the influencers, I think that's more on the like, with social media, of course, but a lot of influencers, I mean, they be making more money than they make more money as an influencer than they sometimes make as a dancer. Meaning that little 450 that you thought was a whole lot of money for 8 hours, they that's like nothing. That's like they like do that and they sleep. Okay. So I think that there was always something, with the influencers and like their and the money and how to protect them when it comes to some of these brands. But union big shows, these okay, so this definitely has gone up. This is the award shows. I want to say, okay, so if you get booked, let's say you get booked for what award show coming up? What month is this? iHeart. I think iHeart is coming up. So if I get booked for a rehearsal, or I get booked for iHeart, and let's say y'all have 3 rehearsals, and we got a camera blocking, and we have the show, right? So this isn't the real rate now, but let's just say this is the rate. So rehearsals for the like show like that might be like at the dance studio, and then camera day, that's considered like your camera blocking. So that rate is that, and then the actual show by itself is that. So even with, what I'm saying, you can make a decent amount of money doing award shows because it's such a short period of time, like it's real quick. But you want to do all the award shows. Like that's what I said. Go and write all of the award shows that you want to do because you can now see the numbers. It's different when you just thinking about it like, okay, I can make, and these rates are not accurate because they have gone up. But even if it was right, that's still good. 290 times if I what I said, 3 days of rehearsal plus I got my camera blocking day and show day. That's not bad. And even if I was to work as a local, like let's say, oh my God, I gotta work as a local, and like this is the time when you be trying to like hit your friend, hey, can I, sleep on your couch for the next 2 days, 3 days, I'm doing whatever I gotta do just to get this show in because I'm trying to I gotta make the money, but you gotta make it make sense. If I'm spending a certain amount of money, I've already budgeted, like, oh my God, I gotta get my flight, I gotta get my whatever. I don't want to get in a hotel. Let me see if I can stay with somebody. So but it's worth it even if I have more days. Let's say you have 5 days of rehearsal at that rate, and you got the camera block, and you got the contract for the programming show. You're gonna get that money in 2 weeks. Why? Because net 14. They gotta pay you in 14 days. They supposed to. And if they don't, then you can charge, you can start doing a overage fee or a late fee for some of these projects. So this is, kind of helpful. I just want you to just start kind of wrapping your head around what the numbers are. That way, when you start getting into projects and even, like I always show this because I'll be like, I want y'all to understand when we say hazard, what that means. Until you actually see, like, oh shit, we should be getting hazard for everything because that's technically what we be doing. I'm on my knees all the time, you know what I'm saying? All the rolling and spinning, falling, hinging, walking. That is, they're like, that is considered hazardous. All of this. Um, when they trying stuff out and acrobatics and aerials and just in rehearsals about to break our necks. Yes, hazard, right? So just keep that in mind. Even if you are in a situation and they're not really thinking about that, you just know. So you can always come back later, like, hey, just so y'all are aware, this is considered hazard. And even if it's ever a situation where you're uncomfortable or you're like, I don't want to be the one, I'm quick to send this website to people. I'd be like, hey, just so you're clear, because I more so for the money part, because when people don't know, they just don't know. And then sometimes it's our job also to educate because they don't know. They have no clue that this is all here and in place for dancers. They just think we are robots. So, they're like, you guys just dance. You just love dancing. So ain't nothing, they don't think about it as a business sometimes, which because it looks so fun. Look at Super Bowl. It's a great example. I'm pretty sure there was some stuff that they was doing that was hazard, that was, they was running up and down. That was a lot, they going up down the steps and people they carrying stuff and they somebody I saw the light pole, somebody sitting on top of the light pole. That's hazard. I'm in the air. I'm in the air on a light pole, chilling. You got to pay me hazard, right? So people don't really be thinking about that until you actually say, hey, just so y'all are clear, the stuff that we're doing is not, normal as far as movement. Some of this stuff is a little bit of a risk. So I have to be compensated for that. And more so, if anything, just you can send this website or go through anything that's dealing with money, conditions, more so just for your information. I think not feeling like every single thing you got to go and no, it's just more of like, hey, I do have somewhere I can always go and reference if I have a question about how certain things should be, or am I tripping? I thought, and then you can always just go and look for yourself. And of course, they have, I feel like it's on here. They have, oh, uh, like you can email Dance Alliance if you had a question about something. But, I think it's just a great resource, especially if you are somebody that's like, you plan on making this your career. I think it's imperative that you are informed, especially on the number side, because and then outside of dance, like lucky for y'all, there is something in place for dancers. Choreographers don't have nothing. It's just what? I don't know. We don't know. We're going based off of what we think it should be. It's always, question mark. So even as you get up into your career, you just need to even go dig even further, thinking about creative direction or, oh, now I'm going into directing, now I'm going into editing, now I'm going into, videography and just understanding numbers because it's still at the end of the day, it's all still a business. So we have to, what is the value of what you think it should be? It's like my time, my experience, my resume, it's all of that matters. Even as a dancer, there are dancers that they can afford to say, I'm not doing it if you don't pay this. That they've gotten to that level as a dancer. I don't care about these Dance Alliance rates. That doesn't determine my value. My value is actually more, So this is my rate. And they have every right because they have done enough work and they've done the lower rates and they've done whatever and they've done all these things. So now they can say, yeah, my rate is this standard. This is my rate standard. And that's the goal for everybody to always get to a point like a job. Just the 9 to 5 that I keep talking about. Somebody at their 9 to 5 is like, yeah, this is my salary. I don't know what to tell y'all if y'all can't get it. It's like this is what I got to get paid in order for me to show up every day to work. And they get their salary paid based on what their resume experience, however long they've been doing this job. Yeah, they bring a lot of value, so we're going to pay the salary and probably more. Some folks I'll be hearing in corporate, like, oh my God, I got a bonus and I got this and I got that. And like, hey, that's amazing. So yeah, I want my rate and I always want first class. I don't care. You gotta pay it. First class. I want, I would prefer to do private, if we what? Yes. So there's levels to it, but at the core of it, if you just know the numbers and you're like, okay, this is what I'm comfortable right now in my career. When I dance, there was like, or I tell dancers, hey, you should say after this number of shows, I'm not doing no more shows at this rate. I've done 10 shows for 550. I'm not doing no more after that. The rate has to go up. You can determine that. That's your personal decision and choice. And it's always, and it can change if you want it to change. It's like, I've done so many free things choreography wise, simply because I wanted to do the job, or there was, as a dancer, it was like, what are we talking about? I just want to dance. So, I want to create, I want to perform, we got to always remember why we're doing it. And so that will help navigate some decisions. It won't be so like about the money. And I'm just very honest about that because I don't like when older dancers or creatives tell newer ones that they shouldn't do that job because it ain't paying the money that they should make and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I mean, I get that, but you're speaking from a vantage point of having done it for 10, 20 years. So it's easier for you to say that versus when you first started and you was hungry and you was like, yeah, I don't care. I'm trying to get out here because I'm a hustle and I'm gonna use this situation and get some more situations and network and build and connect and get on another gig and do the part that I understand I got to do in the beginning. That's it. So that goes with choreography. Like if you want to go to choreography, if you think you're about to make a lot of money in choreography in the beginning, sadly mistaken. It's just like, no, they're like, what have you done? Who have you choreographed for? What jobs have you worked on? What have you done? Let me see your reel. Let me see. It takes time. It takes time like any job, like any career path, it takes time. So it ain't gonna be an overnight, all of a sudden you're making $1 million. It's like wrong career path, okay? Wrong career path. We want to be very, reality is, yes, you can make a lot of money. You absolutely can. If you like smart and you like, yeah, you can really do it. You see the numbers. So you know what's possible. The great thing is that we as creatives have so many options. Most people don't. Most people, they're stuck in whatever career that they're in. They don't even have other options to like explore or try out. We, on the other hand, can do TV, film, commercials, music videos, live shows, tours. You can create, you can choreograph, creative direct, and any other skills that you have outside of that, from production, producing, like you have so many ways to social media, of course. It's options. And if you know how it works, the money, you understand, you have a little bit more of a strategy approach to where you need to, like what space you need to go in. If you like, yeah, I really need to try to get on TV, then you can put energy into that and make it pop. so that when you get ready to do something else, it's like, well, I'm already got something buzzing over here. I've been working on a few acting gigs, or I've been auditioning, I've been whatever. I've been doing some self tapes, I've been connecting with some actors, I've been working on my monologues. Wherever you start brewing in, it's gonna pop. So, whether that's choreography, whether it's like, yeah, I keep getting called for these music videos, wherever you're putting your energy, it's gonna pop. Something's gonna catch. So you just have to decide, okay, I really want to go on tour. All right, so let's figure out that who's about to hit the road. Go find all them festivals, look up all them names. Everybody is hitting it. Why? Because artists make money on tours. So if I know that, I'm about to go try to find these artists that I know are hitting the road and getting in, talking to choreographers or talking to dancers, just trying to do what I think is the best way to how to get there, make it work. So now y'all can always go back to dancealliance.org or just, reference, or you can write it down really. Write the numbers down. You should, just like y'all writing all these names of people you want to work with. How much money do you want to make a week? Like, how much money do you want to make in the next 6 months? How am I going to make that money? Where can I go get this amount of money, or try to start to build financially? Or if I'm in my mind, I know, okay, I definitely want to do TV and film now because I know I want to get residuals. So I got to figure out how to get on TV. And then what do? You can go to IMDb. Let me see if I can pull it up actually. Why are we talking about it? I am. And let's see. How do I share? Okay. So I know um where oh, let me go back. I want pre-production. Oh no, this is old. Oh, or maybe it's actually Georgia. So they have I gotta find it. Basically, like, oh, TV. I want to start finding I know in Georgia we have like the Georgia production site, but basically you want to find, like, okay, for me it's always I kind of might know what's coming up. So I know it might be like in pre-production. Or you know how sometimes you hear about certain shows or movies, you're like, oh, I heard they're about to get ready to whatever. Um, you can try to just find out what is going to be in pre-production. And then you definitely find out in the city that you're in. I know I'm gonna look up the exact website because I know Georgia has one, like Georgia Productions or ChatGPT. ChatGPT, or I mean, you can Google too, and just start looking to see if you can find any productions that you know may be in pre-production, or studios that may be in pre-production. Um, I promise you, if you start looking and digging and researching, you're gonna find something. You're gonna find something. And from there, I would just, like, okay, where is it at, or what it is. Some of the award shows, some of the award shows, you know that annually, so you know when it's coming back around. Some of these shows like the Masked Singers and The Voice and um those shows that are like competition shows, Dance with a Star, they have guest performers on there. Um, there's so many ways to get to it. That's all I'm saying is like you just gotta be really intentional about saying, yes, I want to get on certain shows based on what I know. I know they always filming. I wish Georgia had more competition shows or like Project Runway and some of these reality shows. Oddly enough, they'll have dance on there somehow. It's crazy. So just start thinking about that. Go back in, really write down like those numbers that y'all saw. You need to write it down. So then you can start seeing it in another form, whether it's a contract or somebody emailing you or texting you, hey, are you available or booked? I want to get you for this TV show. Then you start seeing those numbers come up. Now it's like, oh, I know these numbers. Yes, it won't be unfamiliar. It won't be like I'm telling y'all, we did a whole movie thinking it as like a featured extra, like I think that's what told me, a featured extra. And they were putting us on vouchers, like we weren't even on the contracts. So to go from there and end up getting back pay, it's like, yeah, no, you better know these numbers. Because if you don't, they will definitely absolutely take advantage. They got fined. They got fined. So if you get booked as an extra and somebody's telling you, hey, learn these steps, we're gonna slide to the left, slide to the right, up to you have bumped up into principal. So that contract is different. Now you're on contract. It's easy to do. It's not really hard. It's not like, oh my God, I'm never gonna. Yes, it's easy, y'all. I'm talking about average everyday folks making so-called dancer rates. But it's really the acting rate. It's not anything super special. It's because what you are doing on camera is beyond background and it goes beyond extra. They got people older getting to it. They on set getting a principal performer contract. So just know it's not hard at all, at all, at all. Sweet Magnolias, y'all, it was 50 folks on there that was learning this little line dance. And they're not dancers, they regular people. So it's not hard. So don't think like, oh my God, it's easy. Easy. They have the budget in place already. They've already allotted certain amount of money for these shows. So they got the money. So we don't have to worry about that part. They have the money actually. The TV shows and movies have the money. It's just gotta get on there. That's it. So that's kind of like my overview on the money. I just, I always kind of do it at the end. And I'm going to add a session on Saturday. Today's Thursday. Yeah. I'll give y'all the time. I normally do it'll be like during the day, but just kind of like do a wrap up. But I always do the money last because, and I've talked about money a little bit throughout the program, but I always do the money at the end only because I want to make sure we get the foundation of one, why you are here and why you're doing it. I'm not saying I don't want you to go out and make a lot of money or, kill the game financially because that is important. Like obviously you're most of y'all are doing this because you want to create some type of income for yourself that is through the arts and through, dancing or acting or creating, whatever. So understand that, yes, that is there. But we also know that that's not enough. So the whole idea is I'm a dancer, I'm a choreographer, I'm a creative, I'm an entrepreneur. I dance and do this, but I also do this and that, right? That's gonna always be the case. We are not about to sit here and be like, oh my God, I just dance and that's all I'm gonna do and that's how I'm gonna live and make all my money. It's like, no, you're not. At some point, you gotta, if you haven't started your business, you have to start a business. You are a business. Dancing is a part of it. And I also am doing this, that, and the other. And it all could be under, the same umbrella. But if I know I can go make X amount of money going on this tour, while I'm on tour, I'm starting my business. I'm going to be creating whatever I'm doing, whatever. Sid, she does like crocheting. So she has a whole crochet business and she's getting orders and they're like, saying they got the business going up and I'm like, yes. So let's say she gets booked on this tour. It would be crazy for me to tell her, okay, put that little crocheting business to the side. Now, book this tour and that's it. You need to focus on the tour. No, you need to really blow up this crocheting business. Now, I need you to use this tour to bring some more money to your business. I need you to use the tour, whoever you want to roll with, to amplify that, use their name. Yeah, such and such dancer, she also does this. Or yes, such and such dancer, she goes teaches at this studio. Or such and such dancer, she just started this clothing line. Such and such dancer, she also does hair, makeup. She styles, she got her jewelry line. She got whatever. Like, we got to be smart in knowing dancing ain't enough. It ain't enough. It's like it can do well and obviously you can make money, but it's not enough to say that's it. And I can't really put my energy and focus on something else. So if I can dance for this artist and this artist, absolutely. Yes. When your video shoot, all right, cool. Yeah. I'll be done. This show is done. So I might be a little late to that rehearsal because it's a business. So I'm handling business. I might be double booked. Your double booked can also be your business. So now that you know numbers when it comes to the artists and TV and film, you also have to be just super aware and smart when it comes to the business side. And you won't get messed over either. So an artist can't ever try you and be like, oh my gosh, can you do this for 250? It's like 250. Maybe you will do it for 250, but you smart enough now, you're gonna be like, yeah, show rates are this. If I do this for 250, just if I, anything else after that, it has to be at least this. So I can talk business to whoever I'm talking to when it comes to money. And I don't have a problem with letting them know, like, you do know that I have to work. I have to pay my bills. I have to, so I'm not doing this for a hobby. This is actually my career. I don't care that I have another business and I do, but this is my career. So based on the amount of time that you're going to ask for in the rehearsals, they're going to try y'all. They're going to definitely, you're going to be like, what? You want me to do what? But how much? Oh, and some jobs, it ain't worth it. It's just like, no, come back when y'all have money. And they'll come back when they have money. Sometimes you do have to be like, I'm a holdout. I'm not in that position where I'm dying to do the job. I'm not really a fan of this artist like that. So it's okay. I can pass. You have those conversations with yourself. It has nothing to do with nobody else. You're like, I'm not really a big fan of their music. It's okay. I'll pass. And maybe you really needed the money. Maybe you really needed I really needed the 250. But is this worth it? I don't know. I'll pass. I'll wait. And something else will come along. Just know something else on the way. Or you maybe really wanted to do it. You really love the artist. You're like, oh my God, I'm dying. I finally got to work with. I just said, they only have 250. They only have 250. But I really want to do it. Then do it. Don't feel bad about it. Just do the job. And you can be like, after that, I'm not doing anything else for 250. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are these are all conversations you can have with yourself, you can have with somebody else. You know, you just it's coming from a place of awareness and inform you, like you're informed. You know what the real numbers are. You don't have to like, I wonder where they got the numbers from. No, they don't even know. They just, this is what they are, that's all they got. So, oh, you want me to do your video for 250? Well, I'm only going to be there for probably 2 hours. So just make sure when I come to set, you know, I'm just gonna, and they definitely are gonna pay you up front. You know, it's like you just have those type of conversations. Y'all can't be afraid to talk about money when we're doing business. And then you'll get to a point where you don't have to talk about money. Like if you have an agent or if you have somebody that's managing or, you know, whatever, you can do that. You don't have to feel weird because you're dancing and you have to, because you want to get paid. That's it. This is a business. Everybody is handling business. Just always remember that. Everybody, including dancers, everybody is handling business, from the tour manager to the artist to the road manager to the MD to the background vocalist to the stylist, the wardrobe person, makeup artist. Everybody is handling business. So dancers should not feel like, oh my gosh, we're just dancers. No. Nah, we handling business too. So that sets the tone and it lets people know who you are, and like, this isn't I'm not playing. I'm not just doing this for fun. This is not, I love it. I enjoy it. I'm, you know, whatever, but this isn't just fun for me. I'm actually planning to have a long lasting career. So that's it, you know, and it's easy. It don't even be all that. And it'll get to the point where it's like some stuff is like, oh my God, I don't even care about the money like that. I'm just excited to be a part of this project, you know? So just, you pray for those type of opportunities, have discernment when it comes to certain projects. Everybody ain't gonna be the same, but you just pray for, like, you know, I say be specific when y'all say, I want to go on tour. What type of tour? I want to work with such and such type of artist. Okay, who? Be specific so that you are in alignment with the type of work you want to do. Everybody don't want to go on a rock and roll, a hard rock type band tour, you know. But you said you want to go on tour, and so that was the artist that you ended up going on. It's like, let me be specific. You know, I want to go on platinum artists. Okay, because this artist is not there yet. But so just be aware of that, and you know, please go back, look at the money part. This is something that it circles back to me all the time. Dancers that have done the program, gone and killing the game, they will end up coming back and asking me about money. They ask, hey, so, you know, and the scenarios that's always weird. They're like, so yeah, the artist, you know, the rate was this, and then since we not doing the show as long, now they want to take off $50, and it'd be like that. Those kind of, I'd be like, what? You know, yeah. So we were supposed to do it for this rate, and so you know, it's gonna circle back. You're gonna have questions. That's the whole point of me, even with the community part, just creating a space for everybody to be feel safe enough to ask. You know, you can always ask me. I'm gonna tell you, like, yeah, this is what it is. This is what they should do. But also, once you know what the numbers are, it's just no unseeing it. Like I can't. When I know people are making a certain amount of money, it's like you can't rattle me. I'm like, yeah, no, I know what the money is. And then do your research on labels, research these artists, and be stern sometimes if you have to be, but respectful, and you know, understanding is still relationships. That's important. I've never gotten to a point where it's been like super turned up about, like, you know, it's never gotten to that point. I've never had a situation knock on wood, where like didn't get paid. But I do know people that have done stuff and they didn't get paid. And that's unfortunately sometimes that does happen when it comes to, artists. It's always the artist. So you just knowing that you have to always set your boundaries when it comes to like independent artists. Like, hey, I be like, yo, if you trying to book dancers for whatever, there's gonna have to be deposits, or oh, somebody just hit one of the dancers like, oh yeah, they said he's gonna fly me out. So I'm like, what? Okay, so if they're gonna do that, they need to put a deposit down. It has to be some type of like collateral involved in this. We can't just willy-nilly do all this stuff for free and we are hoping and praying and wishing we get our money on the back end. Sometimes that happens where you can trust, yes, this artist, they're gonna pay. And sometimes they don't. Sometimes you're like, we ain't got paid yet. So just be aware of that. And hopefully you're within a group of other people that are on it. It's always gonna be somebody, you don't have to even worry. Somebody in the camp gonna make sure you get your money. So, that happens every now and then. I think the worst case would probably just be you get paid late, but you do end up getting paid. It's a nuisance when it comes to the artist side, but when you're dealing with TV and film, you ain't got to worry about that. You will get the check in 2 weeks. They have to because it's just union. It is what it is. So that's my whole show me the money spiel because I'm always gonna keep it real. And when I know that, I'm doing this for my career, I think that we have to take that into account. At the end of the day, yes, we are absolutely trying to like make money and, you know, take care of our families and support and all that. But make sure obviously y'all are here, so I know most people are doing it for the right reasons in regard to just they're super passionate and they love dance. And yes, I do want to make money and I want to be successful. I want to be smart. I want to make sure I'm, informed and up to date on what that looks like. And then once you get into a flow where you are working constantly or you're kind of jumping from this video to this show. I'm like, oh, I just got booked for this. Then then you're working enough to where it's like it doesn't feel like it's sporadic. It's like it's consistent. And then especially if you book a TV show or a tour where you might be on a weekly, then it's like it's even better. So yeah, so those are all of the, kind of little overview of money. Does anybody have any questions in regards to anything with money part or anything at all, really? Um,
I have a question in general. I put it in the chat.
mm,
Basically, like with actors and when they submit, they use Actors Access. What do dancers use?
Same.
Really? There's dance jobs on there?
Well, not necessarily dance jobs, but I mean, dancers submit for like if it's a commercial or if it's a dance
Oh,
scene, because it's TV and film. But as far as dancers for like a dance job, there isn't like a database system. It's gonna be private. It's gonna be like for instance, Missy Elliott had one for people that were auditioning for her tour, but it was her own like system that was set up that was private. Um, no, it's not really like a dance database. Everything else gonna be in person, which is better.
okay.
I
Or
think,
like word of mouth or
get
something.
physical. Yeah,
Okay.
but Actors Access, all dancers, like when I was signed to the agency, all the dancers had to have Actors Access, whether they was trying to act or not. So definitely want
Mhm.
that.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions? Well, any other thoughts, comments, concerns, epiphanies? Show me the money.
I do have a question. So
Hmm.
I've been seeing, I guess, Choreographers Guild just developing over the years.
Yeah.
Um, I guess I was gonna ask, like, are you a part of Choreographers Guild? And like, I don't know. I haven't really looked at their website, but I know
Mhm.
you were saying there's not really a lot out as like guidelines with them. Well, with for choreographers.
Yeah. I think, well, when like when it first started, it was more of us like trying to figure out how do we get, like they created the guild, but how do we get it to where, you know, we are protected and we have, so they do have stuff in place now for like when you get booked for television and film productions to follow, like a guide to follow. It won't always be numbers because everybody's rates are different when it comes to that, like choreography. But they definitely try to have like a standard, like you can't go below this. For sure, you can't go below what a dancer makes on a television film as a choreographer. So I know like they're like trying to figure that out. And then we honestly, when I first started, we were working more so on just defining the roles of like choreographer, what that actually means. Cause we end up doing stuff that don't have nothing to do with the steps, so we in producing stuff. And then like what's associate choreographer? What is segment choreographer? What is an assistant choreographer? What are those duties? What are those actual, like define what that actually is? So we actually created a whole like guideline or handbook for all of the roles of what you say, oh, I got asked to be assistant to the choreographer, or I am an assistant choreographer. I am, I'm going to be a segment. Like I've been an associate choreographer. I've been so. Well, what does that really mean? If you don't know what that means. So we defined all of those things, which I think is important. And just it's really just fighting because there's nothing that protects choreographers. We don't get no type of. I've kind of like been like I'm in a phase in my life where I'm just like, I'm not really trying to fight no more about what we should and shouldn't be getting because it is what it is. So if you feel like we shouldn't be getting recognition at this point, like some type of category at whether it's the Oscars, or like yeah, they don't even recognize they barely recognize choreographers with like VMAs and some of these award shows where clearly the artist won because of the video, So anyway, I be like, some of this ain't my fight. I'm just gonna keep like, I'm tired. I don't know. So that is happening, but they are definitely still continuing. It's gonna benefit, I think, the next generation of choreographers. Um, just like for me with dancers, I feel like I paved the way for sure for dancers now. The money that y'all making, I'm just like, wow, that's awesome. So just, hey, I paved the way. I'm part of history. But I think with the choreography side, it's just you have to decide what you want to make and these are conversations I always have with dancers too that are stepping into choreography, or they're like, oh my God, this artist reached out, they want me to choreograph their video. And, it's that whole conversation. like you want to make. That you always have to add more. So it's like, I see it with SAG and AFTRA. You see those rates, you see the numbers. So you have a guide. It's not you shooting in the dark and don't know nothing. No, this is what dancers are making. These are the rates. Choreography is on to always fluctuate depending on the budget. So it all depends. And then you can kind of really gauge that for yourself. At a certain point, you're like, yeah, I've done enough. My rate should be this. So that's kind of the issue with the choreographers guild, but Yeah, I gotta, and they actually sent out something today, actually. I gotta look on the website. But and then if you get to a point where you like, yeah, I need to be a part of it, that then, to be able to contribute some, thoughts and ideas, I think that's important. I feel like it definitely has to grow. We need more. It's a lot of choreographers that are working or like that's in the industry. So as we grow, it should grow too. And then the more people we have, the easier the fight sometimes can be. Like, yes, what are y'all talking about? Like, how do we not have this category? How at the Oscars they don't need um I'm just like all these films that have done it's sad. So yeah, I'll be like, I can't fight y'all. Y'all got it. y'all, y'all got it. This is ridiculous. I think Fatima maybe and one other choreographer um is like a part of the academy. Like it's crazy. Like what? All these dance films. So, but yeah, that's the I would say biggest epiphany. Yeah. Okay, show me the money. So yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to money. Just get clear on what y'all want to make now that you see what the numbers are, and then start, strategy at that point, figuring out where you want to go, what you want to do first, or what area you want to kind of play in, and you should just go where you're naturally in already, or it's like, yeah, this is kind of what I've been feeling anyway, so let me just really dive deeper in here. But the cool thing is you know what all the numbers are for all of the lanes and all of the spaces. So if you randomly get hit up for, social media is not on there, but that's something that you can negotiate with the brand if you want. It's like easy, 500,000, 1,500, something, that's comparable to what people are making. You can Google that too. What are people making doing social media, like reels and TikToks and stuff like that. Some are smaller, depends on what the brand is. But yeah, if you are working on this and then that pops up, it's like, do that too. Go get that little check over there. Or, like, hey, I'm about to, it's a video that's coming up. Let me try to get on that. You know what the numbers are. Like, oh, let me go hurry up and make a quick little whatever. And it's not always about who the artist is and all that. Like, I'm gonna go work real quick. Yes. Okay, cool. All righty. So I'm going to do Saturday. It's gonna be during the day. It needs to be like what time? I wanna say I wanna say like 1:30 p.m. For an hour. And I'll send it in an email, but I'll send you some of the questions that I want to ask you as you come on onto the mic. But it'll probably be an hour and a half, depending on who all is available. But Saturday, 1:30 p.m. That's time, 1:30 p.m. But I'll send an email to remind you that we'll be doing the extra class, and it's kind of like a closeout, but also some of the questions that I ask, just you can start thinking about it. It's some of the things that I'm always curious of, like what was some like a breakthrough moment for you, or something that kind of stood out, like, oh, over the last couple of months work doing the program, but then also any transformative moments that may have occurred for you. And, and I'll ask them a few other questions, but I'll send an email for y'all, but we'll do that on Saturday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern, and tentatively an hour and a half, depending on how many people are available to come on. Cool skill. Bam. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, well, I'll see you guys. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Hey Kiki, can I talk to you to you?
Yes. Oh, I'll sign off here, and you have my phone number?
No, I don't.
Okay, wait. I think I have yours. I'm gonna text you.
Okay.
Okay.